Now let's talk about the next movie in this review podcast, which is A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, a movie about this guy uh, played by what's this guy's name? It's played by this guy named Matthew Reese, and basically this is the true story about a guy uh, about like a magazine uh, publicist or whatever. Not even publicist, but it's like a magazine writer. Basically, what he does is like he's sent out like what he does is like he whenever the magazine tries to have like this real life heroes section in their magazine, he whenever he interviews those people, he kind of talks shit about them. Like he's not a cool guy. He's kind of mean. He's a douche. Uh and one day he's assigned to interview Mr. Rogers, played by Tom Hanks. And uh, through this true story, apparently, again, this is based on a true story. And the more he talks to Mr. Rogers, the more he reflects on his own life and kind of changes his own life as a result of that. And I was really wanting to see this movie because, I mean, not just because it has some great talent behind it, and the director is Marielle Heller, who directed Can You Ever Forgive Me last year, that came out last year, which if you have HBO, it's on there. But I really wanted to see this because Tom Hanks was playing Mr. Rogers. Also, I was also excited for this movie because there was that documentary that came out last year called Won't You Be My Neighbor, which for some reason was not nominated for Best Documentary Feature, which I'm still shocked over, because I love that movie, guys. I think that's also on HBO. If you have HBO, please, please, please check out Won't You Be My Neighbor, the Mr. Rogers documentary. It's so good. And so, yeah, like I said, Tom Hanks was playing Mr. Rogers, and that got me interested because Tom Hanks is a really great actor, but I'm not sure if he would be able to pull off Mr. Rogers, because while granted, yes, they are two saints of human beings, Tom Hanks has a kind of, like, I don't know, the way he talks, the way his mannerisms are, he doesn't really, at first, I didn't think he would fit the role of Mr. Rogers. But then I saw the movie, and man, this movie's fantastic. I loved A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. This movie has everything everything in this movie looks like something that would be in a Hallmark original movie. I'm telling you, it really does feel that way. Like, there's so many things in this movie that could have become so stupid, could have come across as stupid. I'm not gonna get into spoilers, but there's certain cues in this movie, or certain things that Mr. Rogers, Tom Hanks, does in this movie that would come across as so stupid, and I mean really stupid, in on paper. On paper, this would look really, really dumb. But Marielle Heller's direction makes this movie feel genuine and honest. It doesn't come across as cheesy, it doesn't come across as schlocky. It really comes across as so genuine. And Tom Hanks in this movie, wow, this guy is he's incredible in this film. I mean, yeah, it's Tom Hanks. I expect him to be amazing. But he slips into the role of Mr. Rogers seamlessly. Within the first 20 seconds of you seeing him, or at least that I saw him, I was like, I kind of, the Tom Hanks thing just kind of went away in my mind, and I felt like I was watching Mr. Rogers. And he nails down the most important aspect of Mr. Rogers, which was, whenever Mr. Rogers talks to his audience, he's not talking to an audience, he's talking to you. Yes, you, the individual right there. What he says, and the way he looks at the camera when he's doing the show, it doesn't feel manipulative. He feels like Mr. Rogers. It's insane. Which is so weird because, like I said, I wasn't so sure if he was going to fully convince me that he was Mr. Rogers. But man, he nails that down. He really does. And look, yeah, Tom Hanks is really good in this movie, but let's not forget about Matthew Rhys. Matthew Rhys is so good in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Like, I don't know anything about Matthew Rhys. I honestly don't. He might have been some other things. Okay, well, I'm very sure he's been in other things. But, like, but coming from somebody who doesn't know anything about Matthew Rhys, oh yeah, it looks like he was in The Americans and whatnot. Uh, but man, he's so good in this film. He really is. He delivers a great performance. Do I think he's going to be nominated for an Oscar? Probably not. Like the Oscar, like I think all the awards attention is going to be going towards Tom Hanks. And plus, like it's already a stacked year with lead male performances, and I don't know if Matthew Rhys is going to be able to reach the levels of like, I don't know, Robert De Niro in The Irishman or Joaquin Phoenix in Joker. But make no mistake about it, Matthew Rhys is very good in this film, and if he's going to be overshadowed by anybody, it might as well be Tom Hanks. This movie is just sweet. It's such a sweet film. It's such a really heartfelt film. And look, I'm not gonna lie, I was crying. I cried in this movie. Well, maybe not full on, like, but like tears streaming down my face and whatnot. Like, cause like even if it's just a scene where Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers is just talking, what the way he's saying it again just feels like Mr. Rogers is just back again. It really does. Man, I really gotta give it to Marielle Heller for this uh, directing job that she did, because like this could have come across as so schlocky and so silly and cheesy, like a Hallmark original movie, but she manages to make this film feel so genuine. She really does. And guys, if you haven't seen A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, I highly recommend it. I love this movie. It's right now my top 5 movies of the year right now, but again, there's still some movies that I need to see. So it'll probably get bumped off to the top 5. Will it end up in the top 10? I don't know. But we'll have to see. But yeah, I would absolutely recommend A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood if you can find it. It's in theaters right now as I'm recording this. So yeah, watch this movie.